Shaykh always emphasizes to have a living shaykh. I'm trying my best to keep the practice, but failing in many ways. What happens if our living connection is lost? What or how will I be able to get guidance then?
No, I'm not dead. So that's why exactly you're listening to this broadcast now, watching this channel now, because you have to have an interactive relationship with the shaykh. Otherwise the shaitan will be the shaykh. So there has to be an interactive relationship. The student has to have been trained in all of these trainings that we keep teaching. All the principles of Naqshbandiyya, the first principle, hush dam, conscious breathing. So you have to have been trained in breathing, contemplating and making your heart connection, so that it went from a sort of dial-up connection to a cellular connection to a satellite connection, so that you are connected with them from the people of the world of light. Then wherever you go, that connection is with you like a satellite phone. It doesn't need a landline, it doesn't need a cellular network, it's coming from malakut down to the heart. Until that is established, that they need a living guide to continuously calibrate and to teach and to give the coordinates. So I would assume if you're listening to these, then it's clear that this is a shaykh who's living, and learn and absorb and practice as much as you can to make your connection. That's why I said get these resources. You don't get the book and tomorrow they tell you that for some reason they're shutting off the internet, they're cutting on Muslim sites, and Amazon is actually censoring Muslim reviews. So if you go to Sufism, the Dajjal book is number 1 with 3,000 reviews and has nothing to do with Islam or Sufism, some sort of crazy Hindu thing. But when our people are writing reviews, they're blocking it. So you never know in this world we live in, do they cut off internet, do they cut off these things, and nobody has any access to any resources. And do they shut off channels and shut off communications? So these are the resources that are coming out in very, very dark times, anticipating much more extreme difficulties. At that time it's not going to be Amazon driving and delivering to you next day. You just look at what's happening in the world, there's no Amazon in Damascus, there's no Amazon happening now in Burma, there's no Amazon delivering. These areas are all going to be like that. So these are just the time Allah gives to us to sort of prepare ourselves, have our resources, make the connections, make our deals, make our bargainings with Allah, that we won't, from what you gave of dunya we won't to give it, and take akhirah in exchange, so that we can make that connection, make that love, make that muhabbat. And alhamdulillah many people are emailing with immense amounts of realities. That brother online, he emailed that his brother was sick, they got the du'as, they got the ta'weezes and they couldn't find his cancer. So these are in Allah's hands what He wants to take away, but requires them to have the acts of faith, to act upon the faith, to do all of these practices. And if Allah want to take away a difficulty, Allah takes away the difficulty. And there's many examples of these, and the shaykhs are not interested in promoting miracles, but don't think that it's not miraculous. That Allah's might and majesty is unimaginable, and the love and majesty of Sayyidina Muhammad can't be even understood, of what blessings it brings, what difficulties it takes away. So these are the times in which we see. That was an interesting question we had last night when they asked about Dajjal, do you think the Dajjal is coming? It was astonishing for me, not to make an insult to anybody who asked it, but my goodness, in the last 2 years was there anything but Dajjal? Whoever thought that you'd be locked up in your home, that all travel would be banned, all commerce around the world shut down, for what? For unseen cold and flu? It wasn't that, the flu was everywhere. But that was testing from Allah's might and majesty, that the Dajjal time has come, the Mahdiyun times have come, and they're at the door, and the whole world is in a state of immense testing. So yes, definitely it's everywhere. It's a matter of how much are we going to prepare ourselves and have all of the abilities and tools and the training that we need, inshaAllah.